Hello, my name is Gwen, and welcome to your practice. Today we'll have some fun for a whole hour together, with the focus being to reclaim all those parts of us that might feel fragmented and bring them all back home to you. We'll start with building a heart bed. So if you have a bolster, which is a rectangular cushion, or it could be a round cushion, you'll place it at the top of your mat with either a block underneath the head to elevate the head, or some books like encyclopedias. If you have a rolled up mat, use that. Some tubes. Today I will roll a blanket. I think most of us have a blanket around. So if you don't have any of that, then go ahead and grab yourself a blanket. Have it about what you think the length of your spine will be. About like this. Roll it nice and tight. Place it at the top of your mat. Bring your back to that. And unfurl the spine just a little bit at a time, all the way down, until the back of your head feels supported. You might have to shimmy this way and that until you feel a little settled. You might have to press into your feet and lift the sit bones and wag the tail, the bottom of the spine, lengthen it, and then let it settle. If the lower spine is tender or sensitive, any discomfort, you can leave the knees bent, or you can place something underneath the sit bones so they're elevated more and they're not such in a big back bend. You can heel toe them a little wider, heels out, toes inward, inner knees knock, and then feel for a moment with the eyes closed. So as we settle in, notice how you feel as we connect to that internal witnessing. Feel all the subtleties, all those sensations of this shape. The lower back, the spinal column, the shoulders draping a little more as you open up the palms, knuckles heavy. Then go ahead and lengthen through one leg, let it splay, and then the other. And with the eyes closed, feel for a moment. What do you have on your mat? How is the mind? What are the thoughts like? Are they racing? Is it quiet? What does that feel like for you? What does the body feel like? Is there a weight in the shoulders? Is there a heaviness in the body? Or is it light? Feel that spirit. Notice if it feels eager, curious, excited. Or is there a dullness? Whatever it is, full acceptance here of what we have today on our mat. Take a deep breath into that. Exhale it all out. Let's dive a little deeper into us through the breath now. So we're going to experience our Ujjayi breath today, our victorious breath, typically done in through the nose and out through the nose. So let's have 2 cleansing breaths before we start. Invite that next inhale in through the nose, all the way in and up. A light little pause here, filled, and then again, inhale all the way in and up. Light little pause, filled with everything you need. And then Then take that next inhale in through the nose and out through the nose. Feel and sense, is the nasal breathing available for your body today at this moment? Can you find that ease so that your body can imprint ease today? Is it a struggle? Are there any obstacles in the way? Any congestion, stagnation? If it agitates your nervous system, big or small, just go ahead and place it off to the side. Come to whatever breath feels good. Stay with us through your visionary skills. So in and out through the nose typically as we start to generate this victorious feeling, this prana, this vital life energy from temples to toes. The Ujjayi breath is energizing for the body, and at the same time that deep relaxation seeps in. So go ahead and drop all your attention and your awareness to the back of the throat. Jalanda Bandha. Your chin lock. Listen to that sound it makes. As you breathe in and out through the nose, can you hear that ocean sound? An echo, like listening to a shell. You can feel and sense as you listen to the sound. As that sound gets a little louder, it amplifies all the benefits of this breath. That energy will start to soar, and that deep calm will seep in. We'll align with our core and drop into our proper alignment in every pose, whatever shape we find our body in. So there's two more landmarks that I'd love to bring your attention to. They happen naturally through this breath, and as we bring our awareness and our attention to them, it'll give us that much more control. So go ahead and drop your awareness to the base of the spine. This is your root lock, called the Mula Bandha. Let's ignite this lock. Like you have to go to the bathroom, you hold. You'll feel a gentle lift of the pelvic floor. Very soft, very subtle lift. Each exhale, it'll lift upward. Each inhale, it'll relax. Exhale, lift. Notice how that feels in your body as we start to ignite that core line. And then let's go and visit the navel lock. This one's particularly valuable for those of us that bend down a lot in our gardens, cleaning, clearing, teaching yoga. Whatever it is you do a lot of, on or off your mat. This one's for you if you have any discomfort in the lower lumbar sacral spine. So go ahead and take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, float your awareness into the navel center. Inhale. You'll feel the belly rise, and as you exhale, float your awareness into the navel center. No need to drive it towards the spine, but know that you can. If you have a lot of pain and discomfort, you can drive it a little closer to the spine and upward into the rib cage, hollowing the belly. This will ignite our wrapping muscle, that transverse abdominis, that attaches at the lower lumbar sacral spine and wraps to the front, zips from the base to the navel. Each exhale carries us closer to the spine. Come into this breath throughout your practice for the times you need a little more energy, a little more calm. I invite you to use the Ujjayi breath, or come into whatever breath feels delicious at the time through our practice today. As you carry your awareness to the breath, it's your avenue inward. So have some fun through your breath today. And on your next natural breath, go ahead and bend the knees and drag the heel. Feel that foot plant. And then slowly the other. Heel toe your feet a little wider so the heels feel that they're outward, toes are inward, and knock the inner knees. Clasp a hold of the fingers and send the palms upward towards the sky, thumbs away. Let one elbow drop to one side. It might touch the earth while the other one moves away. You can marry this with the breath if you'd like, with an inhale through center and exhale other side. You can choose a different location, a different pathway to travel, so maybe it's a little more upward or a little more downward each time. Float your awareness into the arms, into the shoulders as you do so. And then go ahead and pause on one side. On your next inhale, travel the arms upward over the crown to the other side in a circular motion. And then downward on that side. Inhaling up one side. Exhale down the other. And feel and notice the arms, the shoulders. What's it like to go the other direction? It can be a small circular motion. Feel if any deep-seated exhaustion has moved in. For one more this way. Wherever you are, let the arms reach up and undo the fingers, and very softly let them circle. And then the other direction. Press through the palms and widen through the fingers. Relax that effort. Let the arms gently float down like you're floating through water, resistance. Very slowly until it feels support of the floor. Knuckles heavy, palms up. Take a few breaths while you feel into the fingers, the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders. And take another deep breath just like that. Exhale it all out. And let the inner knees come away from each other, palms come down by your side. Walk the feet closer to the sit bones. Press into them and drag the seat over to one side while you roll off of your props, right off of the bolster or what you were laying on. A little light housekeeping here. So go ahead and take the hand behind you. The block can come anywhere. You'll be using it again in the practice. The blanket over the bolster by your side, you may use it again. Have your back nice and flat for a body scan. If the lower spine is really sensitive today, very sore, you can leave the knees bent, but do heel toe the feet wide so the inner knees knock and you come into an active resting pose. A little rock of the back of the skull. Knuckles can become heavy. You can remain just like that. Perfect. Or some of you might like to lengthen through one leg. Let it rest. And then the other. Let the toes dance, a little wriggle. And with the eyes closed here, feel now for a moment. If we were laying in the sand, what would the imprint look like from the heel up through the Achilles, down through the calf? Feel in through the back of the knee, and then the thigh. All the way to the sit bones, to the lower spine. How far are you off the mat? To the mid-spine, right below the sternum here. Notice how you feel. And then broaden and widen to the back of the shoulders. You might be taking up plenty of space after a long held back bend and some beautiful pranayama, some breath work. A little rock to the back of the skull. Notice how it feels today. And then come into some stillness here. Take a deep breath. And take that internal snapshot. Your starting point. Know that you can come back here anytime. You never have to follow. If this feels delicious, stay here longer. So go ahead now and bend up one knee, drag that heel and plant that foot, and then the other. Interlace the fingers and bring the palms behind the back of the head for a flow called compass. A perfect pose to reclaim all those parts of you and bring them back home. This internal compass. So feel into your body. If you have a stress hangover, a tension hangover, this flow is for you. So feel into both feet. Give a light little press into the heels, the big toe and baby toe, and lift the pelvis high enough to get a piece of paper under it, and then lower. And then carry the nose over to one side just slightly, just a little bit. You'll lift the pelvis and then lift the head. Lower the pelvis, lower the head, and soften in that shape. The nose floats over just a little deeper. Take a deep inhale, and then press into those feet. Lift the pelvis, lift the head. Lower the pelvis, lower the head. Take a deep breath. Exhale it all out. And then find another angle, maybe your full range of motion on this side. Nice and deep. Take a deep breath. And then press into those feet and lift the pelvis. Lift the head. And then lower the pelvis. And then lower the head. Rest and soften, soften, soften here. We're going to come back home. So pick a halfway spot. Roll the nose halfway on this side. Take a deep breath. And then press evenly into the feet. Sit bones lift, then the head. Sit bones lower, and then the head. Let the nose come all the way back to center, to your starting point. Take a deep breath. Press into both feet and lift that pelvis up. Head comes up, elbows towards each other, chin to chest. Pelvis lowers, head and hands second. And then soften there. We'll go ahead and come on over to the other side. Choose an angle that suits your starting point on the other side. Take a deep breath and press into both feet as you lift the pelvis to your favorite place. Lift the head and then lower the pelvis and then the head. Take a deep breath and choose another angle to point the nose at. Take a deep breath and press into both feet as the pelvis gently floats upward. Notice how heavy. Lift the head. Feel the weight in the shoulders, the arms, and then lower the pelvis slowly. Head and hands second. Soften, soften, soften. And then maybe to your full range of motion on this side. Take a deep breath. And then press evenly into the feet as the pelvis floats up. Head and hands second. Pelvis lowers. And then the top half. Take a deep breath. Exhale it all out. Float the nose halfway home. Then take another deep breath. And press evenly into the feet and let the pelvis float up. Head and hands second. Pelvis down. Head and hands. And then nose comes to center. Undo the hands for a body scan. Let them lower by your side, knuckles heavy. Lengthen through one leg and then the other. And then scan the body. Connect to that internal witness once again. Feel and sense the vibration, the sound, all the subtleties in your body. An advanced practice is not the poses that you do. It's the ability to hold your focus and feel into that subtle energy on the inside. So how is the body talking to you? Can you feel that vibration through the feet, to the knees, through the thighs, through the lower belly, all the way through the torso, the heart center, the back of the throat, up to the middle of the brain? Dive through the brow. Feel where you're located on the mat, a little rock in that area from side to side. Feel the rock on the back of the head. Notice the weight. And then go ahead and pause and come upward to the middle of the brain through the brow. Find that laser beam connection from the top of one ear to the other. Take a deep breath into this command center. Allow it plenty of time here to sort and register what's just occurred as we start to rewrite the script. All those parts of us that were on automatic pilot, that might have a little muscle amnesia, This is how we wake them up, or we simply erase them. We become a self-eraser, and we build new pathways that suit us. So go ahead and take one more breath here. And then exhale. Then go ahead and bend up one knee and then the other. Palms come down. Press into the feet and drag the hips to one side and come on over to fetal position. We're going to come into side crunch. I pulled this out of the cat stretch series. So go ahead, and you may need your blanket to elevate your head if the shoulder is sore today, that lower shoulder. So pay attention to yourself, and please do not put up with in your yoga practice. So from here, reach up through that top arm, nice and long through the elbow, like someone's tugging you up, and then curl it around the crown, so coil it around and cradle that head. Then lift the head and allow that bottom arm to come outward. Those knuckles are your new pillow. If that's too much for your body for whatever reason, place a pillow underneath the head. Then come to your breath here. Take a deep inhale and lengthen through that top elbow up, top hip down. Feel the top edge of the body lengthen. As you exhale, soften. Two more just like that. You'll inhale, lengthen the elbow away from the hip. Exhale, soften. And one more just like that. Feel into the lower half. Give those inner knees a tiny little squeeze, like a squeeze that you would squeeze a little baby's leg, so not too much. So squeeze the inner knees. As the inner knees squeeze, let the top foot float upward and then downward to the support of that lower foot leg. Feel the muscles required for this action that are responsible around the hip, the back of the pelvis, the side of the leg. Notice how you feel for 2, 3, or 4, just like that. So maybe this next one is your last one. As the foot comes down, let it rest. Feel the muscles that were required soften. And then connect with your breath here, and on an inhale, we'll invite the top half to lengthen, elbow away from hip. And as you exhale, lift the head, squeeze the knees, top ankle floats up. Feel the arcing sensation of the elbow towards the heel, and then you lower. You might pause there for a breath or two, or go ahead and lengthen on the inhale, and a light little lift on the exhale. As we move like this, float your awareness to the spinal column. Notice as you inhale, it floats up and arcs like a side cat and cow. As you come upward, elbow towards heel, it stamps down into the mat. So how about one more here? Inhale, lengthen, elbow away from hip. Exhale, squeeze the knees, lift the top heel and the head. And then slowly lower. And then roll onto your back body. Lengthen out for a body scan. Connect to that internal witness now once again. Wriggle the toes. Connect to that internal highlighter and draw that line up the mid line, that navel center. Feel that top edge. For me, it was the right side. So whatever side was closest to the ceiling, feel from the feet all the way to the sit bones and feel that whole leg. Can it rest a little more? And then go ahead and feel into the other leg. Does it feel higher or lower? Then the sit bones, are they even or uneven? The torso all the way to the shoulder. Notice the sensations in the belly, the heart center, the shoulders. Dive into the middle of the brain and send it a little love, a little joy, a little harmony through your awareness. Let your awareness sit there for 2 more breaths as that command center sorts and registers what's just occurred. And go ahead and take another deep inhale. Exhale it all out. Drag up one leg at a time. For you, you'll simply drag the hips over to one side and roll over to the other. For me, I'll come over to the other side of my mat so that I'm facing you. And then notice how you feel. You'll reach that top arm up. Feel the elbow reach up. And then coil the arm, cradle the head, lift, and take that bottom arm outward. Lower the head and notice if this is okay for you. You may need a blanket underneath your knuckles. Once you find that comfort zone in this pose, and remember, you never have to follow. I might be going a little too quick for you. Maybe I'm going a little too slow for you. Have some fun. Enjoy your practice. So know that you can remain here for a little longer. On your next inhale, lengthen the elbow away from the hip. As you exhale, soften, soften, soften. Again, inhale, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, soften. And then one more just like that. Lightly lengthen. And very softly soften, soften. Then go ahead and squeeze the knees. Lift that top ankle to a height that suits you. And then lower. We'll bring the whole works in now. Squeeze the knees. Lift the ankle and the head. Feel the arc from the elbow, the connection to the heel, an arcing sensation. And then softly bringing it back to your ground. You can come up and down continually or take a brief rest for a breath or two. You can marry it with the breath so that when you inhale, you lengthen. As you exhale, you squeeze the knees, lift the head, the top ankle, upward, and then slowly downward. And know that you can point that top elbow in various angles, so a different direction. You can inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come on up. Feel and sense this flow for your body. For maybe one more, or maybe you feel complete. You can roll onto your back and come into your mini Shavasana. and scan your body. So go ahead, let that last one be your last one and roll onto your backs. Those of you that wanted to hang out there a little longer, let the toes wriggle. Connect to that inner grin. Fabulous things happening on the inside. Maybe it just feels good. The targeted area of the shoulder through the shoulder blade to the other shoulder. That upper triangle all the way up to the middle of the brain. Targeted area. The whole body receives as the body doesn't think in bits and pieces. Where you correct in one place and rewrite the script for a little more mobility, a little larger range of motion, erasing discomfort. You will correct in the whole system, like dominoes. So take another deep breath there. And then exhale it all out. Go ahead and drag one foot up. And then the other. Let the palms come down. Drag the hips over to one side and roll yourself up. We will need our blocks, or if you have a book, you can use your book or your blanket. Have it close by. Whatever you're going to use underneath your pelvis, go ahead and bring it closer. I will represent the yoga block today. So it has a little more resistance, so it's a little firmer. So a book might do with a blanket over top. Perfect. So go ahead and come into that same shape that we were in at the start of our practice, on your backs, both knees bent. So this is a bridge pose. Go ahead and press evenly through both feet and then release that effort. Have the arms by your side and take a deep breath there. As you exhale, press through the back of the shoulders. Feel the heart rise and then soften. Take another deep breath. As you exhale again, back of the shoulders down, heart lifts, and then it lowers. Take a deep breath. This time, back of the shoulders come down and you hold. Feel the length of your arms press, hold to the fingertips. Feel the muscles engage. Press into the feet evenly. Carry the pelvis upward. And then go ahead and take a hold of the block. It will come to the back of your pelvis. So it will be on the back of the sacrum like this. So it will feel like it's on bone. So not in your lower back. Right at the base of your spine, there's 4 to 5 fused bones called your sacrum. So notice how that feels as they start to surrender down. Each exhale, I surrender. Into this shape. Let it feel delicious. This is our inversion. The belly is over the heart over the sinuses. So go ahead and start to rock the back of the skull from one side to the other. As you do so, feel into the back of the skull. Notice how it feels like you're walking up a ladder. A little bit at a time, getting a little taller, coming out of any stagnation. Any fusion, any constriction here. And then you'll pause and allow that to be the yin part of this practice. So let it be quiet. The back of the head rests, nose points a little closer towards the heart, chin a little closer towards the heart now. Take a deep breath there. And then press into your left foot. Feel the right foot become a little lighter, but not come off of the mat quite yet. A little lighter in the heel. Let the toes remain there on the mat. And then the foot leaves the mat. Slowly comes towards the belly, the thigh. And then the arms can reach towards it. If it's right there, then you can interlace the fingers behind the knee and let the calf come down. If it's not and you need some assistance, you might have a towel or a scarf, a yoga strap, or maybe a shirt will do. I've used a sock. Anything will do to lengthen, bring it behind, thread it behind, and hang on to maybe the thumbs behind the back of the calf. So whatever feels yummy here today. And then go ahead and lengthen the other leg. Leave the heel down and paddle the toes up and down and back and forth. Feel the back body move just a little bit here. And then soften. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, send the back of the shoulders down and carry that thigh towards the belly and hold. Flex that left foot, the long and strong leg, flex it so it feels like the toes are towards the nose. And give it a tiny lift off the floor. And then lower and relax the whole body in this shape. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Targeted area, the lower lumbar sacral spine, the place on the block. So go ahead and come into Charlie Chaplin with that long and strong leg. Toes point out. Take a deep breath there. Send the back of the shoulders down, thigh to the belly. And then go ahead and maybe lift that long and strong leg, a little or a lot. And then lower, let it rest. Notice how well the whole body can rest in this shape. Take a deep breath. Exhale it all out. Take that long and strong leg, toes point inward. Take a deep breath there. Send the back of the shoulders down, thigh to the ascending colon with a squeeze. Lift that long and strong leg and then lower. Soften your efforts. Let the right leg come down that you've been cradling. Send the left one to meet it. Both knees are bent, both feet planted on the floor. Feel and sense from one leg to the other, all the way through the pelvis to the middle of the brain. Press into that right foot. Let the left one become a little heavy in the heel. Peel the toes up a little at a time. Thigh towards the belly. As a side effect, the arms reach, then interlace behind the knee. Maybe you use a strap and thread it behind the knee or on the shin. Then go ahead and lengthen through that other leg. Leave the heel on the mat, paddle the toes, back and forth, side to side. Let the back body move on the mat and then soften. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, send the back of the shoulders down, thigh to the hug into the descending colon. Flex that long and strong foot, that leg there on the right side. Give it a little lift. Feel into the lower spine and then lower. Relax that leg. Relax the whole body now in this shape. Take a deep breath. And then send those right toes outward. Take a deep breath. Back of the shoulders come into the mat, thigh into the belly. Lift that long and strong leg upward and then downward. Relax that effort. Toes point inward. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Shoulders down. Hug that thigh into the belly. Hold. Lift the long and strong leg upward and then lower. Relax that left foot down into the mat. Arms by your side, both knees bent. Take a deep breath and notice this shape. As you exhale, send the shoulders down and press into the length of the arms to the fingertips and hold. Press into the heel, big toe, baby toe, and hover over. Whatever you have underneath the pelvis, go ahead and take it out now and place it off to the side. And then roll from the top of the spine like a pearl necklace, one pearl at a time, one vertebrae at a time, until the lower spine comes down. Heel toe your feet nice and wide, toes inward, knock those inner knees. Let the body rest here for a moment while you take the block or a book or maybe a folded blanket right above the crown. Place it right above the crown so it's about 2 inches thereabouts in thickness. One hand, the knuckles come onto that, and the other one comes right in, and you can take hold. So the elbows come outward like wings. Drop your awareness through the armpit. Feel the landmarks of the shoulder bones start to come down in the connective tissue towards the mat. Each exhale, a little more. As the armpit starts to dilate outward, the shoulders move downward. We're going to come into a little bit of a twist now. So go ahead and let the knees come out away from each other. Leave the feet where they are, but heel toe them a little wider, as wide as your mat. And then slowly roll over the soles of the feet and let the baby toe edge knee come down. The big toe edge knee come upward. So leave it where it is and let it come upward and feel that hip come away. Peel away from the mat and then place that hip back into the mat. Roll over the soles of the feet to the other side. Baby toe edge comes downward. Big toe edge remains upward or wherever it suits your knee today. And then peel that hip off of the mat. And then place that hip back down mindfully, slowly. Moving from side to side, the head can move with the knees now. Feel and sense all the control you have with that pelvis and how it can move like this now. The head can move and the shoulders remain downward. You might like to leave the nose in the opposite direction of the knees. And then start to move it through center and over to the other side. So it's moving the opposite of the knees now. Each time the knees come through center, you might like to press that lower spine in for a stamp and then over to the other side. So one more this way. And one more that way. And then come into your Shavasana. So go ahead and let the hands come down by your side, lengthen through the legs. You might like to bring your bolster underneath the knees or the back of the thighs. Or maybe it's flat that you're craving. But do take your blanket, either use it as a blanket or fold it on your lower belly and your top of your thighs to stimulate the relaxation response. And whatever you have, either a folded up sweatshirt, some socks, a scarf, or maybe you have an eye pillow, go ahead and use it. And place that over those closed eyes to stimulate that relaxation response just a little more. Shavasana, final resting pose. Notice how you feel. You relax the muscles around the eyes. As those muscles relax, the facial tissues start to relax a little more. The facial tissues will relax now. The jaw will slacken. The tongue, the shoulders, pouring downward through the back body, nice and heavy, grounded, safe, held. The hips release, relax. The legs and the bones cradled softly in the connective tissue. As you let go of the control of the breath, the control of the muscles, feel yourself surrender. That heart center open like the sky. And allow yourself to rest here. Own your moments. Pause into simple movement. Adapt to our imperfections. Flow through seasons of forward motion, stillness, quiet, brittle tension, and then compost. Returning to growth. Forever perfect moments. We let go. We own our moments. Own your moments. Pause into simple movement. Adapt to our imperfections. Flow through seasons. Forward motion. Stillness. Quiet. Brittle tension. Compost. And growth. Forever perfect moments. Let go. Own your moments. And take a deep inhale here. Exhale it all out. A long, luxurious stretch. Take your time. You can slowly, slowly bend the knees and feel each movement forward as we start to wake up into this new environment that you created through your presence. You can squeeze the legs into the belly You can rock from side to side. Eventually come over to your side body and pause. Connect to that inner grin, that powerful you. Feel that power. As you give yourself a little pat on the back for showing up and feeling into this gift of presence. When you're ready, use that strength now to press into that earth, the floor, the head nice and heavy. Let it come up last. Feel the luxury of sitting up nice and tall. The knees don't have to bend. You can lean into the wall. It's a beautiful thing. A chair, a cushion, whatever is comfortable for you today. Notice the spine like an antennae, nice and long. Feel and sense the head. Notice the balance, the sensation. And what is that like for you today? Go ahead and come into the Ujjayi breath once again. In through the nose and out through the nose. Feel the sensation at the back of the throat. As you exhale, feel that pelvic floor gently drawn up, the navel center drawn in. Inhaling and exhaling, just like this. On your next inhale, carry your attention all the way down to the base of the spine. Feel that energetic quality like a sphere of energy. As you exhale, let that energy come all the way up, like we're bathing our body in awareness. Inhale, feel that energetic quality downward. Exhale, let it lift all the way up. Exhale and inhale. Feel and sense. Notice how your awareness can accomplish this. One-pointedness. Bringing that internal drishti, that attention inward now. So how about two more just like that? As you inhale, base of the spine. As you exhale, all the way up. Inhale down. And then exhale up. And then pause for a moment with the awareness through the brow. Feel that energetic quality grow and expand. Bring it all the way into the heart, like a lotus, with a fire right in the center. Feel that fire quality move forward and back, top and bottom, and outwards in all directions. So you're sitting in the middle of this energy. Then go ahead and bring the palms in what's called lotus, where the outer edges touch. The outer edges of the baby fingers and the thumbs at the heart center. And then go ahead and bring one finger together at a time. Feel the warmth of the palms, that appreciation. Take a deep breath as the thumbs come into the heart center for support. As you exhale, let's pour this as loving kindness outward to all. Namaste. Thank you for your practice today.